You have to stop scrolling. Get the fuck off your phone! And get back to work! You're in this rat race because you were born! So get the fuck back to work! Alright, we're gonna call Chip. Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Chip.
How's it going?
So good. How are you doing, Chip?
I am doing well.
Just well.
Also just working on patches and stuff.
Patches. Oh my gosh. Chat, do you see this? Do you see how dedicated this game dev is to making sure that his game is working fluently? Wow. Can we get a round of applause? Are you watching stream, by the way?
I have been, yeah. I was wondering, actually, you're supposed to go up in Jump King, right? Not down? Never played it, but you know, I don't know if you had the idea right.
Okay. All right. Right. Okay. Yeah.
Going down.
Yeah. Hey, sorry about that. The call cut out. I was just wondering what you said. What was that?
Nothing at all.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah, I hopped in a little while ago. I've been watching.
Oh, that's awesome. That's so awesome. You've been watching. So cool. So anyways, my chat, we're gonna say hi to you. Chat, say hi. Say hi. Stop saying going down. Chat, say hi.
Hello, everyone.
I'm removing that
It's okay, I have it
sound.
muted.
You have it muted, thank God. Okay, perfect. Yeah, say hi, chat. Wow, this is Chip. Here, I'm gonna make sure you guys know who this is. All right. On call with Chip. Game dev. What do you want me to call you? Game dev?
Yeah, that works.
Deity 2. Did I spell deity right?
It is off screen, so I'm not sure.
How about that? How's that?
Yes, that is spelled right.
See, I know how to spell. Anyways, hi Chip. We have some questions for you, right, chat? We have some questions for you, Chip.
That's good.
Yeah, okay.
Is this the old guy at the bottom of the pit?
Okay.
I thought we already said hi to him.
Hey Chip, game dev for Double D2. Hello, it's Dark Deity, but that's okay. Ass or titties? Okay, can we, guys? I'm sorry. I told them to behave.
That's okay.
Hey, that's okay. Do I need to play Dark Deity 1 to get the full experience of Dark Deity 2?
No. So they're connected, but only loosely. It's set 25 years later, and it follows the children of the first game's protagonist. So there's like callbacks and stuff that you might enjoy a little more if you did play the first game, but it's built to be played without playing the first.
That's interesting. Ooh. Someone's asking, can I gamble in the game?
No,
Hello,
you
Chip.
can't gamble. It's not.
Game so
There's
far.
no gacha systems.
Currently in
Although,
chapter 7,
if you
and
want to
I'm
look at it this
really
way,
looking forward to sinking dozens
every
upon
attack is
hundreds
like a
of hours
gamble
into
because
this
there's
game.
hit chances. So
For my first
if you're
question,
into that
I
sort
have
of
to
thing,
ask,
there you
are
go.
you looking for another writer for a third Dark Deity game?
Nope.
Okay, interesting. Oh, no gambling, Sag. That's okay. How many different party members can you recruit, Chip?
Yes.
What was one of the most
There are
exciting
20
moments of
in
the
the game.
development?
You
Oh,
can generally deploy 10 at any given time once you have enough.
that's insane, actually. Okay. What was one of the most exciting moments of the development of Dark Deity 2?
Ooh. We'll stick with the voice acting theme. I feel like the first game didn't have full voice acting, so I was in some of the sessions, but it was like little barks, like people just going like, "Hey."
Barks?
Yeah, so instead of like actually voicing lines, they'd have like a laugh or like a hmm.
Oh, that's cute. Yeah. Okay.
But when we started doing the full voice acting, I got to sit down and like actually hear the script read out loud. That was probably among the coolest moments. That was wild.
I like that. So, did you ever do any voice acting for the game?
Okay.
Are there any
so
jumping puzzles to get down with?
There is like a creature in the game that I was planning to do because it's so heavily like edited that it, the voice doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But I was so bad at it that we ended up hiring someone to do it. I do have some like lines that are so warbled they don't even sound like words, that are just
Yeah.
me kind of like humming loudly and making
Yeah.
weird noises and then editing it, but no actual voice acting.
That's cool. Okay, interesting. Okay. This is from Odo. Are you going to be doing a third Dark Deity game?
That is a good question. I think if you get to the end of Dark Deity 2, there's some hints onto whether or not that's going to be happening.
Ooh, interesting. Ooh, very interesting. Ooh. Okay. Was there a bigger vision or goal in mind starting out, or just a general idea and then you went from there?
Definitely a little bit of both. We built out a lot of the world beyond, like what we actually needed for the particular plot of 1. And I think around halfway through, we decided like, hey, if this goes well enough, we'll probably make a second one. And started sort of sowing some of the seeds for that.
Love.
Yeah, a little bit of both.
Cute. Okay. So, Chip, what is your favorite fire emblem, says Koba?
Radiant Dawn, and it's not close. It's the one from the Wii.
You played the Wii?
I did.
Dude, who had a
I
Wii?
did.
What, based? My chat says based. Okay, why is it called Dark Deity 2? I wonder why. I think there might be a first one, yes. Okay.
We can't be sure, though.
Oh, we can't be sure. I had a Wii. Oh, okay. Okay, interesting. Oh, there's a second Dark Deity? No way. Who is the Dark Deity? Tell me, Chip, who is the Dark Deity?
That's actually a good question that I can't answer.
Why can't you answer? Is it like a, ooh, mysterious, or you just don't know, you haven't written that yet?
It could be either of those two things.
Maybe the Dark Deity was the friends we made along the way.
Exactly, yeah. We're going to pull the biggest bait and switch, and it's going to be that.
Oh, let's go. Who's your favorite character in the game?
The industry. Ooh, who is my favorite character in the game?
There's only one answer.
See, the smart thing for me to do here is to say Valyria, right?
Exactly!
Who I do use in every playthrough because she's OP as fuck. Excuse my language. Sorry,
Perfect. Chat, I can't believe he just swore. Oh my gosh, chat, close your ears. Oh my god.
I'm assuming that's probably fine.
Oh no, you're fine. Anyway, sorry, continue. So you like Valyria.
We had a tester that was like soloing the game with Valyria. I had to nerf her a couple times, so you can blame him for that.
Thanks, buddy. What's his name?
I won't out him like that. not his name. I don't. Come on.
Is there any romance in the game? Can you romance characters in the game, Chip?
So it's not like a mechanic. You can't pair the characters up and choose who they romance, but there are canonical pairings that end in romance when you do. There's like a system called bonds where as the characters fight together, they become friends or just grow closer in general. So some of them have romances, and Valyria does have an S rank, yes.
Ooh, I like that. I like how there's a little bit of bondage in the game. That's awesome. Anyways,
exactly, yeah.
Was there something you wished you could have done with the game that didn't quite pan out?
Probably voicing the bonds, because the full main story is voiced, but the bonds aren't. Excuse me, which is something I think we would probably aim to get done in a future game, if of course that was something we were going to do.
Okay, somebody's asking, where can I get this game?
It is only on Steam right now, and I'm hoping to bring it to all 3 of the major consoles later this year, but I don't have any more like specific date than.
That's so cool! Oh my gosh, I can't wait. So it's on Steam. Oh my gosh, look at that. Zerker just dropped the Steam link. Shout out. Overdrive says, what sort of playtime are you looking for the average player to complete the game? Are there paths for replayability? So sort of like a 2-in-1 here.
Yes. Yeah. So that's a good paired question. Playtime wise, it's very individual to the person playing because it's such a decision-making oriented game. If you're someone that just kind of runs it down mid and goes all vibes, no thoughts. So true. It'll probably be faster than if you're like agonizing over every decision.
Okay.
And also, difficulty wise, you might be replaying levels more if you're playing on a really high one. There are points in the story where you make choices that change how the story goes. They're mostly for flavor. You kind of get to the same place in the end, but it does give you some good variation when you're coming through to see the story again and see what changes.
I love that. I'm excited.
Sorry, I realized I didn't answer the actual question. Most
No,
people,
you're fine.
it's like somewhere from like 25 to 35 hours, probably.
Let's go! Let's go! That's a lot of content. Okay, so from Koba, another question. Chip, what would you say was the biggest improvement from 1 to 2? I'm going to say without voice acting, because you already touched on that. Is there any other aspect of the game that you felt really got amped up in the second one?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me.
Voice acting is the easy answer there.
Yeah,
I think,
exactly.
Gameplay wise, probably the map designs. A lot of the first game was just kind of like enormous, open battlefield bullshit without a whole lot of nuance to it. I think the maps are generally a lot more intentional for this game. Yeah.
Love that. Okay, Chad, do you have any more questions? Thank you for joining us today, by the way, Chip, taking time out of your day, patching. Holy. This is a question from me. How much time do you spend patching? Like, since your release when was the release? Last week?
Monday
last week, so just a little over a week. How many hours a day would you say? How many hours a day would you say you've spent patching?
That is a good question. I'm just about to release the 9th patch since then.
9th?
Yeah.
Chat, round of applause.
But
that's
that
insane.
Being said, not like a fair amount of that time is spent like reading the forums and seeing what issues people are having versus like actually actively coding it.
Fair. Yep. I get you.
So it's a little hard to say. I mean, like maybe a couple hours. It probably looks like it's more than that, but once I, identify what the issue is, it doesn't take that long to go in and fix it for the most part.
Dude, you're so cool. Okay, so I imagine you went to school for like game dev, coding, or whatever. How long have you had this idea in your head? Like, has it started since you were a kid? Have you thought of these stories, these characters? Have you had them kind of in your head? Or is this kind of like after college, during college? Like, when did this idea for Dark Deity come to your head?
Yeah. So I had a couple like finance internships in college that just made me want to die.
So true.
So I was a econ major, and was just very much not enjoying it. And then on a winter break at one point, my close friend Dylan and I were like, well, we could just try making a game. Why not? And sort of the Fire Emblem inspired thing was like, oh, I always find myself Googling games like Fire Emblem and finding nothing that I want to play. Why don't we just make one of those? And yeah, I just kind of locked myself in my room for a couple weeks and
impressive.
Followed some YouTube tutorials, and then we started it, and yeah, it went from there. The like characters and worlds we hadn't started thinking about before that point, which would have been in like early 2019.
That's so cool, dude. What? Dang. Okay, that impresses me because like I imagined with how much is in this game, there's like years of thought process and whatnot. Like maybe you grew up with these characters, but no. Okay. A dead ass. You just like yoinked that out. I love that. Okay. Do you have any questions that you want to answer from chat? Like maybe I've been speaking over some questions you see in chat that you like. Do you want to pick a few?
I can like rapid fire a couple that I've seen because a lot of people are asking one RN or 2 RN, which is like a sort of back end math question.
No clue.
It uses 2 RN for hit and 1 RN for crit for those who are into the math part of it.
I totally know what you're talking about. Yeah. No, keep going. Yeah, that's awesome.
Let's see. There are a couple others. It's made in Game Maker, specifically GMS2 for the engine. They are asking. Another question, am I interested in making a game or a DLC where you play the villain? There was one actually for the first game, but it was pretty mid if we're being honest. So that's something I'd rather I'd dedicate a whole game to rather than, because I think conceptually it needs to like wrap that all in. It's not something that does super well when it's half-assed. Let's see. I don't know if there's any others. There was probably let's see, it would be cool if I can describe it because you haven't heard of it before. So it's a strategy RPG in the vein of games like Final Fantasy Tactics and Fire Emblem, and if you're on the older end, Shining Force. You control a party of characters, and they each have their own sort of RPG customizability, and then the actual gameplay is basically anime chess. You move these RPG characters around on a board and, beat the shit out of your enemies.
So awesome. Dude, I can't wait. I'm so excited. Will you be able to mod it? I'm excited for that.
It has a bunch of built-in stuff. So like games of this nature, a lot of the time people mod in randomizers for like when you get the characters and the skills and stuff. That's in baseline so that, it doesn't take me that long to build, truth be told. So when we were making the first one, I figured, why don't I just put it in and, save some dude 2 years of his life trying to make it happen,
Angel?
with my spaghetti code. So
yeah,
the randomizer is built in. You can change some of the game files, I guess. Someone's gonna do it eventually. There were people that modded the first game, not like super extensively, but there's no like official mod support.
Fair. But the fact that you did that anyways was sick. Is there permadeath? No clue what that means. What's that mean?
So permadeath is when the characters die in the map, they're gone for good, and it's kind of a staple of the genre. Dark Deity 1 and 2 don't have permadeath.
Oh, good.
They instead have a system where when the units die, they get what's called a grave wound, which is like, it lowers their stat for a chapter, or has makes them start with no mana, something.
I like that better. Because I feel like I'd get way too attached. Like, ooh.
The big problem with the format is that you end up having to restart maps, and I know for a lot of people, you just ain't got time for that, So I wanted to build in a system that is a little bit more accessible.
Ooh, how would you feel about an anime based on your game? Ooh.
Oh, that would be so sick.
That'd be so sick. That'd be so sick.
We don't have the clout for that, but maybe one day.
Maybe someday we'll do that. No, I got that. Okay, Chad, do you have any more questions? Please! I don't want to take too much of your time. I know you got to do your coding, and you should be celebrating, dude. You should be celebrating. How long have you been working on Dark Deity 2 for?
Side note, I ain't really got shit to do, so if you have more questions, it's fine. I'll put the patch. It's already done. I just have to do a little more testing.
It's already done. Bro's ahead of schedule. I love that. Okay.
The first game was a mess. I was patching for like months, but it's in a pretty solid state for this part. We started like fully working on it probably 3 years ago. After I spent the better part of a year attempting to fix up Dark Deity 1, which is pretty janky in comparison. So started from the ground up with it.
Stunning.
And yeah, about 3 years.
That's insane. Oh my gosh, 3 years. 3 years. How good do you feel now that you've released it? It's out there.
It's nice. It's really nice. Truthfully, like, I release it and then it's like, oh, time to patch. So I kind of trick myself into thinking like, oh, release is coming and then I'm going to be done. And then it's like, oh no, I'm actually right back to work.
No, you're back in jail. Yeah, exactly.
So it feels nice. Like we finally had some time to, like we went out to a nice lunch yesterday with my wife and Dylan, who's my partner on the project, and
stunning.
Just had time to actually celebrate, which is nice, 'cause it's gone pretty well.
Good. Yeah, it has. Hello. Congratulations.
But yeah, just trying to keep it rolling and make sure it's in a good state.
I'm excited. Has the community been receiving it well?
You probably
so we're at
like
95% positive right now on Steam.
Let's go!
Really been enjoying it. I think it's gone pretty well for the most part. It's a little janky, which comes with the territory with how much we're trying to do with the gameplay, because like the UI can take some time to get into, but once you get into the meat of it, people are really enjoying it.
I love that. Actually.
Oh, and question I do want to answer in chat. Actually, they're asking what made me choose Cottontail.
I didn't want to answer that because it's we
had auditions. Cotton was a top choice for like 4 different characters. I just want to say that the auditions were insane. So really good job.
Thanks.
We had shortlists, and there's you and a couple other people that were just like popping up on each one because they were just all really good for each character. So
Oh.
Realistically, if it wasn't Valeria, you would have been on someone else.
Let's go! Are you kidding me?
Which, you know, Molly may like shoot me in the back of the head later because I shared that information. I don't know if I'm supposed to talk about it.
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything. I won't share that with anyone. Who said that?
Yeah.
Just us, chat.
The auditions were great. That's what it was.
I'm so happy. I really needed that after playing Jump King. Yeah, that really shattered the ego. You brought me back up, Chip. Thank you so much. Thank you. Small pat on the back. Yeah, I feel much better. I do feel much better. Thank you. Thank you very much, Chip. I appreciate that. Do you have any interest in working on a different game? Like, do you have like stories starting in your head for a different sort of series?
Yeah.
Or is it like, this is your baby, you just want to keep building on this?
See, that would be telling for the earlier Dark Deity 3 question, now wouldn't it?
I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything.
I don't really make a secret of that. This series and this sort of game world are definitely my baby in that front.
Yeah.
I every once in a while I'll spend like the better part of a couple of weeks like building just some random new game, and then I'll get bored of it and come back to this. I definitely we're this game is not the end of this sort of game universe, regardless of what that means for what the next one specifically is, which I can't speak to yet.
Of course, yes.
Definitely we'll see more.
Okay. Is there anything you wanted to add to Dark Deity 2 but didn't quite get there because of either time constraints, whatever happened?
Yeah. Probably the thing, we get a lot of questions about this because we have the built-in randomizer. So the game has 45 player classes, but they are split up into different trees.
Wow.
Like, like a warrior mage. That's not what they are, but that vibe. And the randomizer doesn't allow units to go cross-class because it would have been like thousands of new animations to do on our end.
Yeah.
And that's that's like the holy grail. That's what I would love to do because I always I've been playing modded randomized games for a very long time. It's something that I really love. And I wish we could do that, but we just don't have the time and the money with the animators.
Yeah, 100% fair. It's a lot, and I applaud you guys because in an increasingly, I'd say dangerous space for artists, you guys didn't use AI. Let's go.
Yeah.
Can we get a W?
Very much against that.
Let's go. Please applaud. Thank you. That was awesome.
We never will.
Let's go. W. Let's go.
Yeah.
Respect.
Easiest W of all time.
Actually.
That
was awesome.
A no-brainer.
Okay, so what was the hardest, sorry, what did you say? Feature to implement. Is it going to be like the randomizer or no? What do you think?
No, the randomizer, because I built it with that in mind from the start, it was pretty easy for the most part. It's kind of just like juggling numbers around. Hardest feature, I'm going to go, it's not necessarily building the actual structures that make it happen, but because we have those story route splits where the player gets to choose, implementing all of the different conditionals and making sure everything's working right is the biggest pain in the ass. And I've been doing this 6 years. We're never doing the route splits again. It was such a pain in the ass.
You're like, so nah, never happening again. Yeah. How many endings do you have? Is that a question?
So there's 40, I think 42 different variations of the epilogue.
Oh my gosh.
The actual ending, I try not to make grand statements about the choices because in the end, there's one ending. You get to the same place. It's mostly pretty linear. It just kind of changes how you get there.
Yeah.
So it's not I'm not sitting here saying your choices make an enormous difference, but the epilogue itself has, in terms of how your choices can proliferate, there's 42 different versions.
That's insane, dude. That is actually insane. Do you know how insane that is? Do you hear yourself?
Unfortunately, I do. Yeah, I had to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Which once again, big reason I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, don't blame me for that. Do not blame you at all. So this game started off as a Kickstarter. I actually didn't know that. Do you mind telling me about that? How that went?
Yeah, so Dark Deity 1, we oh my god, it was just kind of a silly little thing. And then we ran a Kickstarter in 2020, I want to say, which
Yeah.
was the biggest thing was so that we could upgrade to like actual combat animations.
Yeah.
We had the little like map sprites just doing like a freeze frame with some weapon design popping up, like clip art style.
Mhm.
And then the Kickstarter did like 6 times what our goal had been.
6
Which led to
times?
some funny, yeah, we hit goal in I think like 6 hours.
Let's go. What the
Which was
heck,
definitely
dude?
a misplay on our part. Because then you know how Kickstarters have like stretch goals.
Yes.
We were panicking. We're like, shit, we need to have stretch goals, right? Like that's
Yeah.
what you do when you do.
Yeah.
We were still. I don't know if I had graduated yet when we ran the Kickstarter. College, we were still just kind of. I was living in my stepmom's basement post for COVID because we had to move out of college.
Yeah.
And we ran it. And so we ran a community poll for what the stretch goals would be. We were like, well, what do you guys want? You know, if we're going to add stuff. And the community voted for a beach DLC.
A beach DLC?
Yeah, the first game has a DLC where everyone gets beach costumes.
That's actually so sweet. What?
It's so a lot of them are very fun. There's like a joke isekai character in it who has like the game logo tatted on him.
Cute. Love.
For the beach mode. It was very, very silly. Anyway, yeah, sort of yapping here, but there was a Kickstarter, yeah, and it went very well. I feel very lucky about that.
Stunning. Chip, I actually invited you here to yap, so thank you for doing your job today.
That's good. I have a terminal yapping disease.
Yeah, so. I do too, dude. I do too. Yeah, yapitis. Chat, any last questions before we're going to start playing the game? I'm going to show them the trailer, and I'm going to play the game. I'm so excited,
very
dude.
Fun. And yeah, feel free to shoot me any questions you have while you're playing.
Chip, can I have $1 million, says my mod. Okay, that guy is no longer going to be my mod. Are you hiring, says Otto.
We are not. We're probably keeping mostly the same team for
fair
the next game. Unless you do map art, actually. If you do map art, give me a message.
Interesting. How many people are in your if you were listening, Hyperion, you would know that Chip has a wife. Listen up.
It's true.
Open your ears. Anyways, stop flirting with him, please. How many people are on your team? What do they do?
So, let me go look in the dev server we have.
Bro's checking out the servers.
It's
6?
like 15.
Oh.
But it comes in sort of various capacities. We have, some people that did like 3 things, some that did a couple hundred things. So it's the actual company is just Dylan, who's one of my oldest friends, and myself, and then we contract out.
Aww, that's so cute. Aww,
yeah,
how long have you known Dylan for?
Middle school, actually. He was I had to move towns when I was younger. And he was one of the first friends I made in the new place.
Aww,
so
that's
we go
so
way
sweet.
back. Yeah.
Aww. Okay. Aww. That's actually adorable that you guys met in middle school and you guys are still friends and you guys are now business partners. And do you see yourself hanging out with Dylan for the rest of your life?
Yeah. We're in the kind of turbo online way of like we play games together every day.
Dude, real?
I see him once every 3 years.
So true. So true. Is it long distance homies?
Long distance homies that happen to live like 10 minutes away but just don't hang out because they're playing games.
You're like, I don't wanna move. I don't wanna leave my house. I'm the same way. Yeah, I'm the same way, don't worry. Okay, chat, we have time for 3 more questions. Let's do 3 more questions. Okay, I saw one before. Do you have any tips for someone wanting to make their own game?
Yeah, I get that a lot, and I think the biggest thing is starting small and don't start with your dream game. I think something that gets a lot of people tied up is trying to make this, incredible idea that they've been thinking about for forever. But when you're just starting out, like you're just not going to have the chops to get it done. And the less experienced you are when you're starting out, the more janky it's going to be. So make something small, make something that you love but isn't like your dream game. Scope creep, letting the project just grow and grow because you think of cool ideas is absolute anathema to actually finishing something. So it's better to ship something small and dinky than to go too big and burn it.
I like that. I like that a lot. And I feel like, yeah, exactly. Save it for your magnum opus. Ooh, I like that question. I like that question a lot. But anyway, sorry, back to your answer. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. Like in any sort of creative endeavor, if you start big and you're just like, let's go with my biggest idea, the biggest, best idea, then you're just going to get burnt out because you're going to be like, this sucks, dude. Man, this sucks. And I get that. I tried doing that with singing. I tried to go for a really hard song and it did not work out. And then we're going to work up to it again. So is this your thing that you've worked up to? Like, would you say this is your baby? You already said it was, but like, is this your big idea that you've worked up to?
No, I think the world in the game is my baby. I wouldn't say that this game is necessarily. I think we've got a long way to go in terms of making the dream game. But I feel really strongly about sticking with a world and a concept, because I think it's a shame that series aren't really made anymore, partially because you agree creative burnout. Real. Yep. So I do feel really strongly about sort of continuing that and trying to build a legacy, not like my legacy, but a legacy in the world that you can follow and sort of like get into the history of it.
Yeah.
Because I really miss that with sort of older series that are falling by the wayside nowadays.
Love. Okay, Chip, this is a question from me. Yeah, okay, dang it. Tyran just asked it. What is your favorite video game? You can't say anything Fire Emblem. You can't say your own game.
Yeah. The funny thing is that Fire Emblem is not like Radiant Dawn is, maybe in my top 5 games, but it's not my favorite series, I don't think I would say.
Interesting.
I think I would probably say Oblivion, Elder Scrolls Oblivion, because that was the game that got me into video games. My older brothers had got it. I probably shouldn't have been playing it at the time, if you think about it, but
relatable.
That was like the thing that sold me on how cool it can be to get immersed in a game and really like give a shit about your character and your world.
Yeah.
That's I would say that it's that. And then I've got a whole bunch of hodgepodge, after that.
Okay, top three. Give me 2 others.
Oh god, top 3. Okay, I shouldn't have said that, 'cause I should have known that was coming.
You enticed me. I had to pounce.
I'm gonna throw the shout out to Mountain Blade Warband, which
never heard of it. I'll be real.
Incredibly niche, but it's that game. Fuck.
Chat. Do you know what that is? Put a 1 if you know what that game is. Mountain Blade, dude. People recognize it. Dang.
That game is a banger.
Okay.
When I was in college, my roommate, who was my best man, we would just be posted up in our college beds with our flat screens set right across from us, just posted playing Mountain Blade single player next to each other for like days on end. It was very degenerate.
That's actually so really cute.
Fun.
That's so cute.
Yeah, that game carried me through college.
Stunning. Maybe I'll give it a try then. Hey.
It's janky, but you should. It's really it's a fabulous sandbox. It's very funny. It has the sort of like environmental humor of it being silly, with like the characters saying the same thing over and over again, because it's not that high effort, which I find really funny myself.
It's fun. Yeah. I can get behind that. Stunning. Okay, and then third.
Oh god, third. It's the third.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm sorry.
It might take. I gotta think about this. I'm gonna throw. You know what? I'm gonna be basic as fuck and throw Elden Ring up there. But you play through a game like 12 times. I gotta give it flowers. Really, the whole Souls series, but I'm gonna get to Elden Ring.
Really?
Yeah.
I respect that. A lot.
Maybe I'll anger some people and say Dark Souls 2 is on par with that.
Yeah, no, you're sick in the head. Actually, I gotta go now immediately. Actually, I'm hanging up. I'm kidding. Okay, chat, this has been Chip. Do you have one last question? Chip. I'll give you the honors to pick it. Even though you said Dark Souls 2 was your favorite one of the series you discussed me.
It's peak.
I've never played it because I'm scared to.
It's
I'm scared.
It's janky and horrible, but it's also very very enthralling. I love the world of it.
Enthralling. Yes. Stop asking him tits or ass. Sorry.
I'm not picking that one.
Okay, good.
Let's see.
Chat, behave.
Could cotton be in one of your future projects? I'll pick that one. That seems appropriate. Most definitely, considering considering how Dark Deity 2 goes, and we've talked about what game might be coming next, which I haven't said out loud, but you can assume. There's certainly a chance there.
I'm pogging so hard. Thank you so much, Chip. Sorry, I gotta Chip, do you have any last words? Thank you so much for joining us today on our stream. This has been our fluffers asking you questions. I'm sorry
Absolutely. Thank you for being in the game. You're fabulous. And thank you for having me on. If you guys are interested in RPGs, game's pretty good. I'm not going to sit here and say it's pretty perfect, good, but I'll work real hard on it, and I'm gonna keep making better games. So if you want to support us, you're sick as fuck for that.
Thank you so much, Chip. We'll be doing one more giveaway at the end of stream. So Chip, you're gonna pick the word that they have to type to enter the giveaway at the end of the stream. What word are you picking?
Okay, I'm putting two words together. It's gonna be no spaces, Jump King.
I hate you so fucking much. Thanks so much for being here. Awesome, Chip.
Absolutely. Anytime, I'm around.
Okay, if I get stuck, can I call you and be like, Chip, help me?
Yeah,
okay.
Go for it. It can be a little weird to get into if you haven't played games.
Yeah, can I be honest, girl? I've never played one of these games, so you might be getting a call from me in approximately 30 minutes, okay?
Yeah.
Thanks so much, Chip. I'll see you around. Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Have fun, guys. Yeah.
Chat, say bye to Chip. He's probably still here. Bye, Chip. You are the GOAT. Okay, for those of you who have no freaking clue what game this is, we're going to be watching the trailer. We're going to watch the trailer if I could figure out where that is. What was that sound effect? Bye. Bye, Chip. Bye, Chip. Bye. How do I look at the... Chat, where's the trailer? Oh, there it is.
Elden
Watch
Ring is the
on
only
YouTube.
game I've ever heard of where other developers
I figured it out, chat. I figured it out. This is the launch trailer. Is that what it is? No, true. Hi, wife. Hi, baby. Bye, Mr. Skylark. I was actually tempted to sing My Shiny Teeth and Me because his name is Chip, but then I was like, that's offensive and making fun of his name, so I'm not going to do that. I hope he's not watching. Anyways, we're gonna go look at the... We're gonna look at the launch trailer. My Shiny Teeth and Me.
Let's make a scene!
Oh, shit! Ooh.
Look, just call me half-breed or mutant or whatever. That's what you types always want.
The acting? Are you kidding me? This goes crazy.
I tried to help her. She couldn't.
Whoa. Let's run that back. We're running that back.
I tried to help her. She could have made it. Why didn't she let me?
Oh my god. Smash, chat.
Definitely left out.
Smash! Smash! Smash!
As a
I'm sorry.
god from the debrief.
I'm sorry. Earn them the hard way. Whoa.
Die before I see the heart used as a weapon against my
Oh my
people.
god.
Just open the damn letter.
Smash.
Not everyone wants your help, buddy.
Why is everybody hot? Why is everybody hot in the game? Why is everybody hot? Why is everybody hot?
We can't risk people's lives in the mercy of this beast.
Do I know that voice actor? Smash! Smash!
You're wrong! That fate is exactly what I'm afraid of. You're destroying our last chance at peace.
Whoa.
You!
Smash?
Sit there and curse!
Smash!
Person this city
Smash!
blood.
I'm sorry. Smash! 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 Wow. Oh, sorry. Oopsie. I started another.
Let's make a
This goes crazy. I'm so freaking excited. I am so excited. That's an orc. And hello. Congrats on being featured in the game. You have a wonderful voice and personality. I hope more people recognize your talent. You're so sweet, Legendary. Thank you so much. All right, chat. This is my first time playing any sort of RPG game like this, and I am nervous, I'll be honest.